Hey everybody, it's Rob here. With the upcoming Abattoir of Zir, we are looking to need a lot of Sigil Powder. We could see it in the dev stream that the dungeons here required 800 Sigil Powder to craft. And we were looking into this, and you can actually tell by this image how much Sigil Power you need for the high dungeons. And I also want to show you guys how I farm my Sigil Powder and how you can farm this powder really effectively. I'm sitting right now at about 180k, and I want to do a bit more Sigil Powder even, and I have the farming method here that requires, or that basically is also able to reset Nightmare Dungeons still. This has always worked, and I will go into it here. So let's first figure out like how much Sigil Powder we actually need to craft these Abattoir of Zir entry keys. So it looks like we need about 800 Sigil Powder for tier 1. And you could tell here in the screenshot where they played the Abattoir of Zir in the recent dev stream that they had 9k Sigil Powder. So that would mean that they can only craft 5 of the 20 keys with the Sigil Powder. So we could basically calculate here how much Sigil Powder we need on tier 20. And this is about 2,000, like 1,800 to 2k Sigil Powder on tier 20. And we're just assuming it's tier 25 is probably going to be around 2,500 Sigil Powder. So it's a lot of Sigil Powder that you need to have, because like if one key for one entry already costs you 2.5k, and keep in mind, once you die in the dungeon, the run is over. So you probably also need to fish for the right layout, the right monster type, the right density, the right shrines. It all really depends how fishy this will be, but there are artillery shrines and stuff in there, so you can maybe one-shot the boss if you fish enough. And they also mentioned that you get some Sigil Powder, but they didn't say how much, so we will see. But it's definitely recommended in the end to pre-farm some of the Sigil Powder. And I would recommend you farm the minimum 50,000 Sigil Powder if you want to like be ready for the end game and you want to smash it with a strong build. You can obviously go in with lower Sigil Powder, but then you might run into the risk that you need to re-farm Nightmare Dungeons in order to do the new endgame Abattoir of Zir, because you don't have enough Sigil Powder. See here, like 50k powder gets you about 20 T25 runs. So you will need a lot. And I will go into the method now and show it to you how you can reset Nightmare Dungeons. I've already done a video that I'll link in the description as well, how to do this solo. So you can just do a Nightmare Dungeon but not complete it. And then wait 2.5 minutes for the Nightmare Dungeon to reset, and you can do it again. So you don't have to spend the key, right? You can just do one key and run this indefinitely. This works. This has always worked. You just reset the dungeon by going outside of the dungeon. Don't leave a town portal. Just go outside, like press the leave dungeon key up here. Like obviously I'm not in the dungeon right now, so just press leave dungeon. And you will go out the dungeon, then wait. Like I just have a timer on my phone, like 2.5 minutes timer. And then you can enter again, and you can just pick up, do all the events. Just don't kill the boss or don't do the last objective. Very easy. But this gets much more efficient in groups, and we are up to farm like multiple thousand Sigil Powder per hour like this, and nobody ever has to spend a key after you open it once. So the way we do it here with my group is we just have 3 people, and I have like a second account. This is this sorcerer here. I'm just having it on my laptop. I'm moving around here on the sorcerer, and this sorcerer is just like here to hold the key basically. So we go in here, we open the dungeon. And I recommend you opening Sirocco's Caverns, because this one has a lot of small spiders. And you want to look, ideally you have a key like this here, where you have like nightmare portals, extra enemies, and no like dangerous affixes. Like you don't necessarily want to play this one here, death pulse, or you don't want to play the lightning and stuff like that. Because that can be very annoying when you farm. Because you will be farming this dungeon over and over and over again. So it's probably pretty good if you have like at least a somewhat decent key. So you need 2 keys total for infinite farming, and I'll show you how. So basically I joined my my second account here. Ari, like she's just gonna stay AFK here. So we opened the key here, and now we're going in. And this is Sirocco Caverns. We're going in here with some friends. And we're gonna clear the dungeon. I'm playing the Immortal Barb, so you can't die. It's like super chill farming, especially if you're streaming or if you're like, I don't know, you can watch a movie in the meantime. I'm prefer leap here, so I can just leap down here. We're just like going in, and we're basically blasting all these monsters, and we can stay in the middle of the explosion. They won't even touch us, right? So we're just gonna clear this here real quick, pick up all the stuff you see here. I already got my first sigil, because there's a lot of monsters we kill. Like these spiders that we kill, they produce more and more. And every sigil gives you about, I think it's like 130 sigil dust, right? So we go here, we do the first objective, we can split here, like see one goes up, one goes down. And we basically just bring down the objective here. I'm going to kill all the spiders here, because I'm going to be a bit slower right now because I'm explaining stuff. I usually already have the timer running, I forgot now, but I'm going to start it now. So I started the timer on the phone, because the timer is 2.5 minutes before you re-enter when you leave the dungeon. So this would be, I'm actually starting the timer when this dungeon is cleared. But if you're chaining the dungeons, you need to start the timer after every dungeon. Or just have it like in your gut feeling, basically. But you need to wait about 2.5 minutes. If your group is slower than mine, like 2.5 minutes, should be around the clear time. And even if it takes you like 3 minutes, that's fine. I'm actually gonna, like, I picked Conduit, that was not really that smart. I'm gonna kill all these monsters, because we should probably, like, focus on killing all the monsters, because they all have a chance to drop sigils, right? So I just like to kill them. Here you can also do leap strat, like you can just leap down here, save a lot of time. And now here we want to kill everything. See here I got some, like, also want to pick up the yellows, because we also going to get a lot of veiled crystals here. I think I forgot to pick some now. So here, like, I'm picking up all the yellows. Like, in 2 runs usually is a full inventory. I think I slacked a little bit here on the start, picking up stuff. So keep in mind, guys, we don't want to finish the dungeon. So this dungeon is so great because it has good density, and it also has an objective that is split by an event room. So what that means is, like, you can't finish the objective on one side. You see here, like, there's another entrance here. So this dungeon never finishes if you don't go past the room that I will show you here in a second. So pick up all the stuff, right? I'm slacking a bit because I'm talking, recording the video. Like, usually you get like about 1 to 2 keys every one. I only got 1 so far. But you also have a chance to engage like Butcher and like other enemies here. So this is, we're done. Like, this is the room. Like, in this room, like, it doesn't give any XP and you don't go past it. So now I'm quick joining my second friend here, Armin. Like, we're just joining him. So just right click, quick join, and now I'm starting my timer, because I know this dungeon needs to reset in 2.5 minutes. So the run that we're doing now needs to be at minimum 2.5. And I need to wait actually until the last guy is out. Okay, and now we're all in the new game. So here we also would open the Nightmare Dungeon. This one is already opened because we already opened it. This one has Stormbane's Wrath, so not ideal, but we're gonna go in. Going in. And now we're doing the same dungeon again. It's important it's the same dungeon, so you have the checkpoint right out the gate. You know, when I'm slacking, I could actually look at these items and stuff. I'm not really doing that right now. So here Armin is playing with us. But you could just have this, I don't know, a friend that's chilling for 2.5 minutes. You can also, like, rotate. You don't even have to have a second account. You can just rotate the person that stays out of one run. So that's pretty chill as well. Okay, so we're going a bit here. Nothing, so we're just gonna one-shot these guys. And this is always a roundabout, like it's always a circle. So here I got another key. You see, it drops from trash mobs. So this is my second key. And you don't have to spend any more keys. Like, you can do this for 10 hours. You never spend the key, you only get. And again, it's usually like, I think the average is like 2 keys. I've gotten 1 in the previous run. But if you get like a cursed chest, or if you get the butcher, or if you get like some other events, like you can also get a cursed shrine, things like this. Sometimes you even get double drops. Respawning chests are also really good to get some juice. Oh, here, I got another one. So I got 2 keys here already. That's already like 400 sigil dust in the pocket. 3 keys total. Pick up all the yellows. You also want the crystals, because I'm running out of those as well. And you need crystals to re-roll your gear. Okay, now we can do the tech here with leap. We just do this. Everybody's playing this build right now. But this is the build that I prefer for this. And we can like one-shot all these guys. Boom. Get crystals, get everything. This gives you everything. So you don't want to be too fast. We are like right now at like slightly above 2 minutes. So we need to like, you know, wait a little bit. I mean, right now we're not even done yet. But yeah, here's the room, you can see. So now what we can do is we can salvage. I'm gonna go salvage real quick. Because we are like 230, it's like a little short to join the second account. But we can leave the portal here, because once we leave the game, like with the portal active, the dungeon will not reset. But we will quickly salvage. So I'm probably going to look through my gear. I'm mainly checking rings. Not really too keen on the other stuff, so that's all bad. And then we would join the first account again. Just quick join it. Port on it. And see, the timer now is at about 3:20. So this dungeon is perfectly reset. "2.5 minutes to reset the dungeon, yes. And I even let my account leech like it's going up slowly, and we can just do the exact same thing over and over again. Like this is the first dungeon that we did. We're starting the timer again, right, for Armin's dungeon. We just don't want to do this too fast. You probably want to kill every monster and pick up everything. You can also keep going past the room and just make sure you don't kill the last guy. But it's a bit risky, you know, if somebody's not paying attention. Like if you're farming this for like 10 hours or something, it's too risky, I think, to go past the room. You can do it if you want a little more out of your key, but you know, you have infinite keys anyways. And even if you're really fast, you can just add a third guy into the rotation, right, to get even more stuff. But yeah, you don't even need to do this. Like this is like fast enough as is. So you just keep doing this. Like it's the same key, you refarm it like all the time. Instead of waiting the 2.5 minutes, you're just basically joining another game that has the dungeon open for 2.5 minutes. Yeah, and that works really well. Here we just like murder all these. And a lot of times you get events in here, you get just even more loot, and then it's also not so tight on the timing. See here, there's a bunch of loot here. Kingslayer, like also here in the dead end, bunch of loot lying around. And yeah, as we finish up the dungeon here, so this is basically how it goes, guys. I think the Sigil Powder will be really important to have a lot of. So I encourage you to, I mean, either try out this method. You can also do it solo. Like if you do it solo, you would just after the second room here, you would just say leave dungeon, and then for 2.5 minutes you need to do something else. Like don't press T. If you press T and leave your portal, the dungeon will not reset. You need to press leave dungeon, and yeah. That's what you can do to get Sigil Powder. I think 50k, like if you want to be prepared for the end game, people often ask me what they could do to prepare. Farming Sigil Powder is definitely one of the things you could do, because it would just take... like there's a risk basically that you have to refarm Nightmare Dungeons, and you just want to do Abattoir of Zir because it gives you so much more XP. I think they showed here the Tears of Blood at level 1 already requires 2k XP, and they have this patch notes here that buffs the experience for sigils that you get for Nightmare Dungeons, like about 60%, but it's still only 300 XP for Nightmare Dungeon 100, and Abattoir of Zir tier 1 already gives you 1000 XP, right? And that's a lot more than you would ever get, but you'd also need a lot of Sigil Powder, so you definitely don't want to go back to be forced to farm Nightmare Dungeons again in order to Abattoir of Zir. You want to prepare a bit and stack some Sigil Powder. I hope this video helps you. Again, you can also do this solo, like reset the Nightmare Dungeon, but it works much better in group because you don't have downtime. You have basically double the efficiency in group. And even just opening normal keys, like you see here, like I found all these keys here in just like a few minutes, and I probably didn't even... yeah, he said he got 5 keys out of the chest. I think they did a curse. Did you guys do a curse chest up here? Let's see, we're picking up this, we're just finishing this run, like, so now I was slacking a bit, guys, obviously, like, I didn't help them. You can see they did, like, a curse chest here and stuff. Yeah, he said he got, like, many keys out of this. But yeah, that's basically how it goes, guys. So you can farm many sigils per hour like this. I hope you enjoyed this overview, and yeah, get some powders. Be ready for the new endgame, and let's keep blasting. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, another sigil, let's go. Yeah, another one deserted. These new vampiric guys were a boss. Okay, that was some crazy sigils. Let's go. Okay, so here we're salvaging the sigils. So this is the sigils we farmed in, I think it was 4 runs. 181. See, we get like 130 of them or something. That's like 2k sigils right there.